Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. In this one, I really just want to be reminding people of the opportunity that awaits you with the cryptocurrency market. I believe that blockchain offers, from an investment point of view, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to change your life, and the opportunity is still very much at hand, ladies and gentlemen. The cryptocurrency market, in my opinion, is going to get to the tens of trillions of dollars, and the only thing holding it back right now is regulatory clarity or regulations. This is coming, and we're seeing this really excel. We've seen it at the start of this year with the SEC's attack or pursuit of certain companies and operations, and we're going to see this continue. And actually, yesterday we had some huge news from the G20 meeting. Global crypto rules to be based on coming FSB and IMF synthesis paper, India says, after the G20 meeting. The paper is expected to be ready by September. This is huge. This is the only thing, in my opinion, stopping this space from reaching the tens of trillions. We know that blockchain is taking hold of the world. I'm going to play a clip. I played this yesterday in my Chainlink video, and what we were looking at in the Chainlink video was the amount of money out there in terms of real-world assets and how a lot of this is going to be onboarded onto blockchain. We're already seeing central banks look to move their fiat systems and operate them on the distributed ledger. And actually, Larry Fink, and this is a clip we also played at the start of the year, believes that we're moving into this world of tokenization, where everything is going to be tokenized and put on the blockchain. And there is a lot of money out there that is going to get swept up. Now, I'm not suggesting that we're going to see, 300 trillion or anything like that, and the cryptocurrency market is going to accrue that, but it is certainly likely going to facilitate that in terms of you're going to have these real world assets that have a tokenized version and value that basically tracks the real world asset, and blockchain is going to facilitate that. The only thing stopping this is regulations. We're already seeing huge advancements in this space, whether it be through smart contracts or whether it be CBDCs, government bonds, whatever it may be. Lots of areas of traditional finance are moving over to blockchain, and we're going to see this excel. So really what I want to do is also bring up this Wells Fargo article again that we, were and have continued to cite, talking about Wells Fargo's views for the cryptocurrency market and how they see it as revolutionary as even the likes of electricity and the internet. So let's play this clip from BlackRock CEO Larry Fink. And then we're going to look at a number of other things, and then we're going to wrap it up. It's only going to be a short and sweet one, guys, but it's really important to me that you guys don't lose track, regardless of the short-term price movement, of the bigger time frame overview of where this market is going and where it's heading, because it is really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, ladies and gentlemen.
Buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem. You don't need trust banks.
But does that disrupt you eventually? Because you are custodying all of these assets.
No, we're not a custodian. We're not, we use third-party custodians in everything we do.
In everything you do?
We're not a custodian bank.
So your goal, by the way, I don't think that he was technically a custodian either, which is a separate issue.
I think they were. I don't know if there was a real custodian in that closed ledger, but that's a whole other story. You should ask him that question. No, I mean, the transformation, think about instantaneous settlement, bonds and stocks. No middlemen. We're going to bring down fees even more dramatically. As for me, I don't have to vote on any shares anymore because the beneficial owner will do all the voting. They'll have it.
And that's where I want to go with this conversation.
Okay, I knew I was going to take you there.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's just a really, so many possibilities open up when you start to use blockchain. This was an article from Wells Fargo. Key takeaways: many expect digital assets to be the building blocks of the new Internet of Value. The Internet of Value will move forms of value around the globe, such as money, financial assets, and other personal valuables. The Internet of Value is likely to disrupt the world of finance, just like the original Internet was disruptive to communications and information. Here they go on to say, we believe digital assets are as transformative in regards to an innovation or on par with the internet, cars, and electricity. This is what's going on here. It's a technological revolution that's going to change everything. When we talk about real world assets, we're a $1 trillion market that's going to service potentially hundreds of trillions into the future. I'm not talking next year. I'm talking, 5-10 years down the line. And you guys get to capitalize on that evolution right here today. This market is still in infancy. $1 trillion is nothing. We got to $3 trillion. The dot-com boom in the 2000s got to 5.5. The only thing holding us back right now is regulatory clarity. And that department is heating up. We've seen the Bank of International Settlements release papers. We've seen the Bank of England talk about public money and how we can run money on public blockchains. We're just waiting for that step to take place. And then it's go time for the cryptocurrency market. This is looking at the sort of total value out there in the world, talking about Sam Bankman-Fried's. This article came out, I think, in November 2022. Cryptocurrency at its peak. Russia, Ukraine, military spending. Currencies, they reckon, is worth about 8 trillion. This is banknotes and coins alone. Most currency is actually digital and not banknotes and coins. This is gold, $11 trillion. World's richest billionaires at 12.7 trillion. Central bank balance sheets is at 28 trillion. The Bank of International Settlements actually released a paper where they said they would allow central banks and banks generally and institutions to hold a certain allocation of crypto depending on what type it was. That's all still to come, guys. And that's central banks, let alone institutions, or, we had news from, I think it's DZ Bank in Germany, which is the second largest bank. They were going to actually allow and facilitate crypto purchasing. It's coming, guys. It's just a matter of time, and you want to be on that train before it leaves because it will come so fast once we get those regulatory clarities. This is the S&P, which is at 36 trillion. We're at 1 trillion. I mean, imagine if you had 10% of that, we'd be back at all-time highs, and that's just the S&P. US versus China GDP, global money supply. They reckon broad money supply is at 82.6 trillion. You've got your stock market, global debt, which I think, you may see this transition for debt to be logged on a blockchain. And what blockchain will facilitate that, is going to have a huge value attached to it. This is the total amount of debt, including accumulated by the government, corporations, and households. Together, it adds up to 300 trillion. The real estate market, which actually is likely going to be tokenized, is 326 trillion. Residential is around about 259. Agriculture breaks it all down. Household wealth, they reckon, is at 463 trillion. We're a $1 trillion market, by the way. And it goes down to break a number of things. And it talks about the derivatives market. And they reckon it's at 12.4 trillion. National value in terms of the derivatives market, they reckon, is at 600 trillion. There's so much money out there that can flow into this market. And the only thing stopping it right now and stopping institutions from allowing that flow and facilitating that flow into this market and tokenizing everything, like Larry Fink said, is regulations. And we're seeing a real heating up in that department. This was literally news from yesterday. Certainly very interesting. I'll be interested to see what the paper actually reveals. It's coming out in September. But it's a very bright future ahead of blockchain. And this is just such a small market that's on a one-way trajectory. And there's going to be peaks and troughs within that. But if you can ride out the long-term trajectory, you'll do very, very well from your investments within the cryptocurrency market. Certainly, if you pick the right ones. There's many layer ones out there that I think are going to do very well. We saw Coinbase's news with launching a layer 2 on top of Ethereum. That's massive for Ethereum, massive for the entire industry, and actually Coinbase are likely to dominate DeFi. Also, guys, a little bit of alpha. Look at those coins that Coinbase are essentially going to use for DeFi, because they're likely going to do very well as they'll have access to the largest pool of users out of any blockchain out there. All I've got for you in this video, guys. You enjoyed the content, like, always appreciate it as a comment, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching, ladies and gents.